Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Feng Shui Friday with Anita and Cheryl. Where the heck is Cheryl? She's out gallivanting. And so, I was like kind of lonely. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna call Linsay Doyle to come and be my co-host today. Whoa, the crowd goes wild. Shh. So thank you, Linsay, for saying yes.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to Feng Shui Friday, where we learn to use the F word. And before we, figure out what our topic of the day is, I just want to tell everybody a little bit about Linsay. Or maybe, well, you can chime in too
Yeah, of course.
while I'm shuffling the cards. So, Linsay and I met 3.5, 4 years ago, something like that. And it was kind of, one of those serendipitous meetings where I knew somebody and she knew the same person. And then, we had a phone call, we had a conversation. And then next thing you know, Linsay was one of my students when I was doing the Essential Feng Shui training. And Cheryl and you actually went at the same time. So how cool is that? So Linsay is a certified essential feng shui practitioner from the Western School of Feng Shui, and she lives in Edmonton, Alberta. And she, you know what, she's just an amazing organizer. So just tell us, Linsay, how has feng shui how has feng shui changed your life? Tell us that.
It's been tremendous. Actually, even before I got certified, because I had previously and still to this day been an organizer, I had a lot of clients just be like, you know what, like you're so intuitive with your like with space, and then it's just funny because then feng shui just kind of fell into my lap. So I feel like it's just been a practice that's been kind of in my life over like the past few years, even prior to me getting certified. So it's been a huge blessing in my life and also in my clients' lives. So it's just been a huge blessing. So I'm super grateful for you and for Tara and the opportunities. And it's just, yeah.
That's awesome. And we've got to tell everybody, yeah, you started out as the master organizer. And quite often we all intuitively practice this work.
Yes.
And but when we can kind of get into the layers of it, and that's why, we usually put on our feng shui eyes to see, what's going on in the environment. So I'm going to pull a card from the Feng Shui Personal Paradise card deck from Tara Catherine Collins. And that's, our topic. And we're going to give our listeners, viewers, some,
Oh,
a whole bunch fell out. Okay, well, a whole bunch flew out.
like
Yeah,
too much
that means they want you. Okay, so now one just kind of landed on my lap, and the card is lighting.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. How cool is
I
that?
love it.
So how important is lighting in our environment? Whoa, what's your take, and what have you seen working with clients that
Well,
maybe has had an impact?
yeah, lighting I think is a huge aspect to what we do. It is the fire element, and it makes like huge enhancements in our environment. And it's funny, actually, I had a consultation yesterday, and we discussed lighting specifically. And I was able to just kind of share right there just specific details around like the lighting, the type of lighting, and ways to enhance um, the area. The ceiling was like it if you're in the space, it just kind of felt a little congested and heavy, right? So we talked about actually bringing in lighting to make it kind of more expansive. And
Mm,
so Yeah, it turned out really, really well. So I'm excited to kind of just see the follow through and what they take as
So
next.
some up lighting,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, lighting is so, like, you're absolutely right, is so important. And it comes back to natural light, of course.
Mhm.
And so then how do we get natural light into the home? Via windows.
Yes.
And if the windows aren't clean and well maintained, then we're getting filtered light in.
Absolutely.
And I always say, how do people feel on a cloudy, cold, dark kind of day?
Well, they probably feel a little, well, sad or just like introspect or like maybe hidden or like dark or sad or um melancholy, I guess.
Yeah, and
The
then
vibration.
what happens when the sun comes out,
Yeah, it's
right?
totally different
The sun
vibration.
comes out and people go, "Wah,"
Yeah,
right? And they go,
feel
ah,
like,
happy day, right? And the smiles on the face, and they're feeling good, and they have more energy. And
yeah.
so again, if we just think about how we respond to nature in those kind of
Mhm.
specific environments, well, guess what? The same thing happens in our
Right.
home. So if we have the wah lighting in our home, we're gonna feel better. We're gonna
Mhm.
feel good, right? And so what would you say is maybe the one room or area or space in the home where you want to pay particular attention to lighting, and
Mhm.
maybe where you don't want that wah kind of thing happening?
Yeah, of course, like a balance in anything, right? Because too much of anything is not the best answer all the time either, right? So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I find like bedroom spaces, right?
Mhm.
We maybe want down lighting in
Yeah,
bedrooms to keep it a little bit more soft and
yeah,
subtle, and kind of so that it kind of draws you into that little sleep space a little bit
absolutely.
better.
Yeah, I think time of day is a huge factor as well. Because yeah, first thing in the morning, I want my blinds open. I want that sunshine in. And then as the day progresses, like maybe close to like nightfall, you start to like maybe close them and just get yourself kind of more settled and like relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, I'm sure you have, but I'm going to ask. So, when you're
Mhm.
working with clients and going in and out of, home spaces, I know you do a lot of corporate work as well. Do you find that often there are burnt out light bulbs?
Yes. So, yeah, that's a huge thing for me. And so it's, I don't know if it's like an OCD extreme, but any house I'm in, even if I'm not working, it's like I always make the point of like, your light bulbs turned out that causes stagnation. Like you should get that fixed, right? So
Mm.
yeah, it's definitely something that I notice on a regular basis for sure, whether it's a client or not actually, because I it's like I said, it can cause just some stagnation. You don't want anything like broken or like burnt out, right? So we want to get
Hmm.
that energy shifted right away.
Yeah, and I kind of liken it to kind of like when the tap goes drip, 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 drip. Like, when it first starts to drip, you go,
Yeah,
oh, I should get that fixed. And
right.
then, you get busy, and maybe the husband or somebody, whatever. And then it goes drip, drip, drip. And then pretty soon it just becomes part of your day. And I think light bulbs are like that. When they first go out,
Yeah,
people notice them and go,
yeah,
oh, it's dark in here. And then, they have a mental thought that, oh, maybe I should change the light bulb, but then they don't for whatever reason. And then, it's like that drip, drip, drip. And so what happens, in Feng Shui, we often say, um, what over time, right? Subtle influences over
Right.
time equal the results.
Absolutely.
So if
Small.
we think as
Yeah.
that light bulb, as that small thing, but it's kind of going drip, drip, drip in your subconscious mind. And
Mhm.
then now someone could be denying themselves proper lighting when they're working in their office, let's say, right,
Yeah.
over their desk.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're denying themselves proper lighting at the front entrance of their home, or in the garage, or someplace that it's really, really important. And then
Absolutely.
what happens is, this is what I've found anyways, is that what happens is over time, then there are other things start to become in disrepair.
Absolutely.
And then it starts to go deeper. And
Mhm.
that's where the feng shui girls come in and go, okay, now we have to fix this. Now we have to, enliven and brighten up your space and make you feel
Absolutely.
good. Because really, at the end of the day, that's what we do. We just help people feel brighter inside, right?
Absolutely. Another component of that, with kind of lights burnt out, is, well, we always talk about the three three aspects of feng shui is comfort, beauty, and safety, right? So that safety component is a huge factor, right? Because if your lights are out, then what are you bumping into, tripping over? So that's a huge component. And there's also like a bit of discomfort. So you're not feeling that comfort. For myself, if I go in and it's into my home, a lights out, like I feel a bit of discomfort, not sure where things are, or, so it kind of brings out like a bit of that hazard and just that uncomfortable feeling energy
Mhm.
around it. So
Right. Yeah, that uncomfortable. It's kind of like, if you're going to somebody's place at night and if they
yeah,
don't have the outside light on, you
yeah,
know, we're just like, it's kind of that fight or flight thing that kind of sneaks
yeah,
up on us, puts
yeah,
us puts us out of our um out of our ease and balance.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, love
absolutely.
it. Love it. So,
Yeah,
you know what, we usually talk about of the numbers as well, but you know what? I'm going to say that the number that's on here is number 6.
oh,
And I think we talked about number 6 2 weeks ago or something. But so
mhm,
if somebody wants to know about the number 6, then, they'll have to listen to the last one.
okay.
So tell us, Linsay. So you
Mhm.
work with clients in Edmonton there. Do you have a website or something if somebody wants some feng shui expertise, and maybe tell us, a little bit about, all the services that you offer, because I know it's not just coming in and doing feng shui.
Yeah. So my website is www.reclaimyourspace.ca. I have just recently launched in the last month or so, actually, last couple months. So super excited about that. As for my services, like we talked about, I am a professional organizer and incorporated the feng shui piece of it. So everything from decluttering to putting systems in place, space planning, move outs, move ins, um, kind of like uh, girl with many hats, I guess I like to
Yeah.
say. So, yeah, so all those services are on my website. And then I'm
Cool.
also on, yeah, Facebook and Instagram as well. You can find me there. Yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
I
thank
love
you.
it. Well, thank you for being my co-host today and
Thank you for having
helping
me.
us shed some light.
Mhm.
We
Yes.
shed some light. Ah, you know, for our audience and gave them some helpful advice for their home for feng shui.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Let's have you back again when Cheryl's back, and there'll be 3 of us, and then we can all chime in, and
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so everybody have a wonderful Feng Shui Friday, and we'll see you next week. And if Cheryl's not back, then I'm going to have Linsay back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're
Thanks. Have a
welcome.
good morning.
Okay, bye for